Now that we're well into winter, I am mentally not doing great. So first things first, a way to feel better is to get a shower, and I am in desperate need of one. I'm gonna hop in the shower quick. Ta-da! That was so cheesy. Okay, that felt like $1 million. That feels so much better. Fit of the day, comfortable, cozy, but warm. What do we think? I love these pants. I forget where I got them. I feel like I'm the driest person in the world. I'm just using CeraVe on my face. I think I recently found out, I mean, it was on like a YouTube short, so who knows how much it could be trusted. But I recently found out that CeraVe still tests on animals, which if that's the case, I'm getting rid of these and I'm not, well, I'll use the rest of them because I'm not wasteful, but I won't buy them again. But that's what I'm using for my face. I'm like the driest bitch in the world, and my face is always so dry, especially like around my nose and my forehead. And that's what I found works very well. But I've gotten to the point where it's almost the middle of February and I'm feeling the seasonal depression. And I feel like I've not been taking care of my health. Like I've not been eating good, which doesn't help like my mental health. So I just wanted to take you guys along with me in the day. Way leave-in conditioner, I love this stuff, I need to buy more. But I figured I would just take you guys along with me during the day to just kind of kick the seasonal depression out of my body. And we're gonna do some stuff that helps me feel a little better in the winter, so hopefully it will help you. And I'm just gonna bring you along like we're on FaceTime and we're best friends. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. So I recently got the Wild deodorant. I love this packaging, isn't that so cute? And it's like hard, reusable, and then you get these little things that you just drop in there. And so I have like 3, and then it came with 2 little travel ones, so I have one at work, and they just smell so good. Other than that, I use this Salt and Stone one, which I like, but now I'm at the bottom and like look at what it does. It looks like one of those smiley face fries. So I've started working out again, which is good. But like I said, I'm not eating the best still, so I really want to focus on bettering that aspect of my life. But I really feel like this is going to be the year that I take back the joy in my life and just start being happy again. Like, I think on the surface, I'm very happy. If I take a step back and really look at my life, I'm really happy. But if I'm just like living through the day-to-day, I'm just going through the motions. I'm going to work, I'm coming home, I'm trying to get a workout in when I can, and then I'm freaking going to bed. And I feel like I'm not doing things outside of just scrolling on my phone to bring joy into my life. And I want to change that this year. And I feel very motivated and inspired to. So I think I think it's gonna stick this time. But I want to try things that used to make me happy as a kid, like doing crafts. I did crafts this morning with my son, and I really want to show him that I'm not on my phone all the time, so he doesn't think that that's normal, because it's not normal to be on your phone 24/7. So we did crafts and like made Valentines and stuff this morning, so that was really nice. Oh my gosh, I can't think. I can't do 2 things at once. I'm very light-handed with my makeup. I don't do a lot because I just can't be bothered to, and I hate the way it feels on my face. But I've been stress picking all these pimples, and I have so many right now because I've not been eating well, so we're just gonna cover them up. I feel like the way that I do my makeup, it doesn't completely get rid of the pimples. You're still gonna see them, but it just makes them less angry and red. You know, I want this channel to be something positive that people can go to. Like, I don't think it's bad to use social media as an escape. I think it's good, to be honest. Maybe that's the toxic part of my brain telling me that it's good, but I think in certain situations, it's okay to, you know, distract yourself when you need to, in my opinion. And I feel like social media is very good at that, but it's also very bad at that because then it brings forth more accessibility to the bad things that are happening. And unfortunately, there's bad things always happening. And I feel like a lot of times now we're like, it's so much worse than it's ever been, which maybe that's true, but also I think we just have more access to it, and it's always been bad. So I really want this channel to be, you know, I'm not gonna talk about any bad things on this channel. And if that's what you're looking for somebody to talk about hot topics or news and things like that, that's not gonna be this channel. I'm somebody with really high anxiety, and that's not something that I like looking for on the internet, and that's not something I wanna put out on the internet. So if that's what you're looking for, ain't happening here, ma'am. But yeah, I just want to find the joy in my life. I want to get off my phone and do things that make me happy and not let my fears hold me back from doing things that I really want to do. A simple one that I can just give you an example for right now is riding a bike. I can't tell you the last time I rode a bike. Actually, it was like a few years ago, and I rode it for 5 seconds and then got off because 1, I was scared I was gonna fall, and 2, I was scared that I looked stupid, which is so dumb. But I'm tired of letting things like that hold me back because I'm scared of what other people think. So I wanna do that more, and I wanna hopefully inspire other people to do that more this year. So that's what we're gonna do. But I've been rambling and not doing my makeup at all, hardly. My eyelashes are non-existent, so you're not even gonna tell that I have this on. And that's how I do my face. Like I said, you can't even tell that I have makeup on, but it's just how it looks, and I've come to accept it. One thing I like doing in the winter that I don't ever think about doing is getting fresh air in here, so I cracked the window just a little bit to get some fresh air moving in the room. Sundays are when I clean everything, so I'm gonna dust everything off, clean up anything that needs cleaned, throw in some laundry, and just wipe everything down, empty the trash, and then we're gonna go outside. Much better. Completely frozen. It's pretty. That was freezing. It's not like terribly cold out, but it's windy, and so my hands were like absolutely cold trying to film that. I was gonna sit out on the bench here and talk, but I also think it's a little too windy. I sometimes forget that like hats and gloves exist. Like I don't have to stay inside in the wintertime. I can go outside, I can still enjoy nature in the winter. I just gotta bundle up a little more than I usually do, which clearly I didn't do enough of today. I could have put my hood up, I guess. And I do have gloves in here, so I could have, but I just feel like around this time, the sun goes down sooner. It's dull outside because there's not leaves on the trees, and the grass is brown, and everything's brown and dull. There's not like a lot of bright colors happening in the winter. And then, at least for me, work is like the busiest in the winter time, and especially near the new year. So I'm so like mentally drained when I get home. The sun's already down by the time I get off work, and so I don't end up feeling like doing anything. I like am not taking care of like how I'm eating properly, so I don't end up eating good, and then I feel like crap, and that doesn't help with my mental health. So I need to remember some of these things that I'm going to be doing today to remind myself that like winter doesn't have to be like absolutely awful. Like winter can be pretty good too. I really just want to romanticize winter better. Why is there a million people coming this way? The bridge is closed. Like, why are people coming over here? I say that even though I'm like, you can get outside. I'm having major deja vu right now. But yeah, so I'm gonna just do a couple things today that I know makes me feel better, and hopefully it'll inspire you to romanticize your winter and make you feel better, and just to hold us over until spring. Unless winter's your favorite season, and then you probably won't even be watching this video. But you don't have to stay cooped up in your room or in your house all winter. You can still get outside and do things. Just bundle up a little more. And I forget that often. often. Because half the time I'm like, I don't want to be outside and be freezing. But like, they make coats for that. Like, what do you mean? This is my other favorite place to come in the summertime. And I don't think I've ever been here in the winter. Just look at how pretty it is. This tree is so cool looking. I can't stay here for long because I actually really had to pee. But I'm gonna sit down on this rock and try not to die. Oh, ow, my ass. That's pokey. Okay, there we go. With what I was saying earlier about winter feeling claustrophobic, I just feel like, at least for me, since, you know, I'm 27 years old and I live with my mom and my stepdad for the time being with my child, it's very hard not to feel like a burden and feel like a failure for still living with your parents. And it also can make seasons like this, where you're kind of stuck inside a little bit more than usual, feel a little more stressful and busy and chaotic. So I think it's okay to feel like that sometimes, but know that it's not true. I'm very thankful and grateful that my mom still lets me stay with her for the time being until I can get another place, which will hopefully happen soon. But I also think it's good to remember that you can still get outside and still do things that you love. And it's hard whenever you live with somebody else and the whole house isn't yours. It's hard to really feel like you're at home. So I feel like that's been kind of taking a toll on me. And it also strains my relationship with my mom sometimes, being with her 24/7. I'm very, like I said, I'm very grateful, but it just adds to kind of the stress and anxiety that I've been feeling lately. So I think it's nice to recognize that and, you know, where I can get out of the house and just enjoy times. Wow, this looks beautiful right now. Holy crap. Look at that. Camera doesn't do it justice, but just trust me, it looks pretty. But also just with this season being cold and flu season as well, that doesn't help, because then you're sick half the time, and then half the time you really can't get up and go anywhere because you feel like shit. So this season is a difficult season, but just know that you're not alone and that there is good things that you can do in this season and things that you can enjoy, and you don't have to be sad this season. You can be happy. It's so cheesy. Okay, I'm about to piss my pants, so I'm gonna leave now, but this was lovely. You know what else is great in the wintertime? Warm foods. I always romanticize making food because I love to eat and cook, but I always forget that like warm foods are literally made for wintertime. Like that sounds stupid, right? The best thing to make in the wintertime is soup. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make some really good, yummy soup. So let's get started. I hated that. Okay, I got all the ingredients. We're gonna make a sausage, potato, carrot, cabbage soup. It sounds gross, but I've had it before. It's actually really good. So I got my mini potatoes here. Nature's Promise organic sweet Italian chicken sausage. Napa cabbage leaves. Usually like the regular cabbage, but they never have it shredded at the store unless I go to Trader Joe's, and I didn't feel like making 2 stops. So this is what we're putting in there. I made it with this last time too. It still tastes fine. And then I just got vegetable broth. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in here from now. I got the stove on so we can start heating up the broth. Everybody's out of the house right now, which means I have the whole house to myself. I just put a little bit of water in here. My son's at his father's house for tonight, and my parents went to visit some family. So that's they usually go on Sundays to go visit my grandpa, and that's usually when I'll meal prep and make my stuff for the week, so I'm not in the kitchen while they're trying to watch TV literally right there. Because the kitchen's not separated from the living room. It's right there. I'm looking at it right now. You could probably hear the TV. I feel like no part of this video has made sense. I've been jumping around all over the place and kind of talking nonsense because I have a million things going on in my head at once. So sorry if it doesn't make sense. All right, I'm gonna cut this crap up. I'm not using a cutting board. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm gonna get the potatoes cut up first because these are fully cooked. You just need to heat them up so they don't have to be in there right away, but these are raw. So we gotta get these cut up and thrown in there. I also kind of would prefer to peel these, but I just can't be bothered today. Like I just bought them and they're already like growing those little roots, which is gross. I think I'm just gonna cut off where there's roots, and then I'm just gonna cut these into like little smaller like bite-sized pieces. Just 1, because it makes it cook faster, and 2, because then whenever you're eating it, you're not getting like a gigantic chunk. Starting to get self-conscious and rethinking this whole video. The broth is boiling, so I'm gonna go over and turn it down just a little bit and throw what we have so far into the soup. Not me completely burning my hand and dropping all the potatoes on the floor. I'm gonna cut the rest of these. 3, 2, 1. I don't know if that worked, whatever. All right, I'm gonna throw these in the trash. My best tip for when you're cooking is to clean up as you go. Just makes it easier. I'm gonna get a spoon and like lower these down into the water so that I don't burn myself again. Okay, I'm gonna cut everything else up off camera, get it into the soup, and then I'll just check back in when the soup's done. I just cut the sausage up like this in little bites. Okay, now we're gonna let this sit at a light boil as long as it takes until the potatoes are softened. I put some salt and pepper in here as well. And there we go. There's the finished sausage potato. Oh, I forgot to put fucking carrots in it. Sausage, potato, cabbage soup. There we go. Without carrots. Very good. Now that we're in from the cold outside and my belly's full of warm food, it really made me realize how much I've been missing out this whole winter not eating delicious warm foods. Like your typical warm foods, soup, hot chocolate, cookies, like pie or something. My next tip for getting through the wintertime is now that the sun goes down, it's not even 5 o'clock and the sun's already starting to go down. So my next tip is to brighten up your room. I don't know if anybody else's room is like this, but if you can tell, there's no lights up on the ceiling. We don't have any like overhead lighting in our room. They're just lit up by lamps. So my tip is to brighten up your room. Now, there's a couple things that I'm doing for this. First tip is to physically light it up with actual lights. So I just bought this humidifier the other day, but it has a light on it, so I've used that. I also have this Lumi that lights up. I have this touch lamp over in the corner with 3 different settings, so that can help brighten it up in here. We can light some candles. And another thing to brighten it up is buying fresh flowers. But like having bright colored things like fresh flowers or just like plants, like I have a million plants laying around, it just brightens up your room. And I'm also going to pick bright colored things in my room. So I'm gonna put some pink bed sheets on. They're in the wash right now. The whole idea is since it's dull and not bright outside right now, we're gonna bring it into our room and brighten up our room. So at least somewhere in our surrounding, we have brightness, okay? I'm at the point of the video where I'm feeling so self-conscious. I'm just gonna be honest about it. I'm feeling self-conscious. I'm feeling like I'm not making any sense. None of the words that I'm trying to speak are coming out properly because there's just so much on my brain. Yeah, so if I'm not making sense or if I sound stupid, that's why. Let's go ahead and get some bed sheets on the bed. There we go, we got it much brighter in here with the lights, and we even got the bright colored sheets to bring some color and some light into this room. And it feels much better already. So along with getting off your phone and not consuming so much or doom scrolling, I think a good idea is to do some sort of hobby. So like whether that's crocheting, knitting, sewing, painting, drawing, reading. I think it's better to focus on that rather than staring at a screen all day. So I got my paints out. This is my little painting book. It is not a watercolor book, which is why all the pages look like they're about to curl up into a ball. But I just paint little things on here when I'm feeling, you know, like I need to step away from my phone for a bit. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna paint. I think I'm gonna paint a pear because I saw a picture of that on Pinterest. I'm going to start painting my pear. Ooh. Okay, this is what we ended up with. I don't know how I feel about it, but let's peel off these things. This is always the most satisfying part. No! There we go. Now it's got the clean edges. There is my pear. So if you're like me in the wintertime can start feeling a little claustrophobic or you get like seasonal depression, hopefully following some of these tips can help you kind of romanticize the wintertime a little bit and still find some joyful, bright things to do until we get to the warmer weather. So things like making sure you're still taking care of yourself, getting creative and doing arts and crafts and trying out some new hobbies, still getting outside and getting that fresh air, brightening up your space around you, and eating some really good food that warms you up and keeps you warm in these cold months. I hope whatever it is that you do in the wintertime, that this helped you a little bit and at least make you feel not so alone, and just know that a lot of people are feeling that way during this time of year, and it's a stressful time of year anyways. So you're not alone in this. You can still find joy in the winter, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!